Hey Leo, this is your general tarot reading for Leo, Sun, Moon and Ascendant rising sign for the month of June. Leo, this is going to be a really interesting and maybe even very, very successful month for you. But let's do what we always do. Let's shuffle the cards and wait on all of the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about this unusual, fascinating energy that you may feel throughout the month. So, this card kind of pushed itself out. Yeah, this is Gemini season, and this is a very Gemini style card, the Magician. There is certainly magic in the air for you. Really, where do we begin? Well, let's do what we always do. We begin from last month, where we still kind of enter this month feeling the effect of that big Scorpio full moon that happened for you in your fourth house of personal privacy, your inner temple, your family and your tribe. And some of you could have had a really nice moment doing something with your family, doing something in your home, decorating your home, doing something with your soul tribe. So that could have been really, really nice on a positive scale. But I have to acknowledge, on a negative scale, Leo, for some of you, you might have felt it a bit differently. Some of you, instead of feeling very bonded to your tribe or to your family, you felt, I need to call it a day on this. I need to really vent now and to tell my truth, get emotional maybe with some family members, kind of say how it is. Some things needed to be said. Between you and family members or your soul family, there could have been a lot of tears, a lot of breakthrough moments also, where the toxicity maybe of stuff that never got spoken about before was allowed to come up, was allowed to be released, was allowed to be aired, so that you could eventually make a decision between, can we move on for this, can we forgive each other, or really at this point now has it gone so far that I just can't do this anymore. So it was quite intense, there's no doubt about that, quite intense. Fourth house sometimes represents your mom, so maybe some of you were spending time with your mom, and I hope that went well. But there was the intensity, which I feel here, Leo, was making a decision to find deeper connections with people, maybe away from your family, and finding a new soul tribe. Maybe your family are great, I'm not saying anything bad about your family, but it's time now for you to make those deep soul connections with a new bunch of people. Maybe some friends that you thought were your soul tribe had to be given the big heave-ho. There was the big Leo lion's roar telling them, you know, if you stand any closer to me, I will bite you. There could have been an element of that, but it's almost like a decision now is made of, I'm getting out there, I'm going to get a new tribe and build, as I said, this deep and magical connection. But what you'll find through this month, because it's a very deep month with a lot of psychic energy, a lot of magic, a lot of soul energy, you'll find that the only way to get real soul connections is to come away from the crowd. You're not going to find that depth in a crowd of people. You're going to find that depth with people that you can have one-on-ones with, people that you can have intimate conversations with, people who get you and you get them. What do they say, that phrase is a soul friend or a soul connection isn't found, but rather it's recognized. It's just discovered, it's just there. And that's a possibility. That's some of the magic that could be coming for you this month, where you decide, no, it's time to maybe ditch some family, friends, maybe, who may not understand me fully, and find this new soul tribe. But I was going to say that you're not going to find this soul connection in a crowd, but neither are you going to find them if you guard your heart too much, or if you don't take care of your heart. You know, I feel a balance here, Leo. Some of you are guarding your heart too much, and then some of you are just putting your heart out there on show for everybody to take advantage of. So a balance is needed here this month, and you're learning it, and that's part of the magic. that deep soul connections are made through honesty, openness, revealing things about you, vulnerability. But that can't happen unless you first know your heart, unless you first know the value of your heart, unless you first have the ability to not get lost in a crowd of superficial people and not to overgive your heart to people who don't deserve it. So that's kind of the theme. It's knowing how to value that beautiful treasure you have going on there, your heart, the famous Leo heart, and knowing how to open that up and crack it open like a hard nut to release all the beautiful sweetness inside, to be only shared on a deep, meaningful, vulnerable, open way with people who you now recognize have the magic in them and soul in them that you can connect with. So that's the big theme, big thing. But the other thing that's going on here is success. Yes, as if that wasn't enough. You have the sun in Gemini season in the 11th house. Mercury, the intelligent part of yourself, in the 11th house. June 3rd, new moon in Gemini in the 11th house. June 9th, Venus in Gemini in the, 11, double, 11th house. So this, if you see the number 11, it's a 1 and a 1. It's two things that are very similar being brought together. So that's why there's good possibility here for two people to make a very solid connection. You and a soul mate, a soul friend, soul connections with a new tribe, very, very possible. But it's all about success. If you've been doing something, Leo, where you've been working behind the scenes, and maybe you'll still be doing that a little bit this month too, creating something, planning something, organizing something, maybe even a party, maybe for Gemini, or organizing a party behind the scenes, just organizing where nobody can see what you're doing, nobody can see what you're at, nobody can see the mastermind at work behind the curtain. This month, you might see a great level of success coming from that work that you're doing behind the scenes, or certainly have been doing behind the scenes. Maybe work that involved a lot of deep research, deep thought, deep consideration, deep care. I care about what this looks like. I care about how this will be presented to people. I care. It's important for me to have it just right and all the pieces just right. And once I have it just right and put enough magic in it, certainly magic, then when I show it off to the world, it will be a huge success, huge success. But as I always say to people, bear in mind that anytime any of us have huge successes, there may be people there waiting behind the scenes to mock or to try to steal your shine. Don't let them, Leo. How long has it been since you've had such a big success that might come for you this month? So do not focus on any shade that might come your way, because you're over that. You're over the shade. You just want all of that sunshine, which you always bask in. It is your time now to receive the recognition for the work that you've been doing, and to get a lot of people around you applauding you, cheering you on, saying, well done, congratulations. It's very much that vibe for you, Leo. So you could be doing very, very well this month. So I love that. I really, really love that energy. Now, I was just going to say something else here too. Some of you might have a secret love, or a secret friendship, or a secret union. So it might not even be love. It's this thing of working in the background, not presenting something yet, but it seems to bring great passion to your life, great depth to your life, great intrigue, and I don't know, it just sets you on fire a little bit. You're enjoying it. So that's a positive thing. I will also say this, for those of you who have to work behind the scenes to gather information, do research in order to win out on some situation, I see around mid-month, 16th, 17th, 18th, that your hard work and the research and investigative work that you've been doing seems to really pay off for you, okay? So there's a lot going on. Now, I just want to say, Venus in Taurus as we enter the month in the 10th house, again, getting a sense of reward or pleasure for the work that you've been doing. Maybe you saw that May was a lot of hard work, but now it's time to reap the benefits, reap the rewards and see the payoff, the ka-ching, even the coin for the work that you've been doing. So that's really good. There's still a level in the first week or so where you still have a little bit of work to go before you kind of maybe get the big money. Maybe some of you are working towards a big payoff, some prize, some promotion, some going up a gear, going up to the executive suites. It could be really happening for you. But I need to focus on this too, because this, I've got to say, I'm reading the energies for all the signs, and it's such intense highs and intense deep focus. And you're really feeling it this month, Leo. You're feeling that intense highs. All my friends are around me. I'm being recognized. We're doing great. It's all good. A good vibe that you love. But underneath, there is still very, very deep work going on. As I said, behind the scenes work, exploratory work, investigative work, and even maybe friendships or unions, business unions you're making, or even love unions that you're making, all happening away from the public eye. It might even be a fact that some of you are dealing with people who live on the other side of the world. Maybe lovers who live on the opposite side of the globe, or chatting for a business deal for somebody far, far away from where you are. But it all seems to work out very well for you, Leo. Now, Mars in Cancer in the 12th house. 12th house is where your North Node is, where destiny must be played out. Mars is in there, and June 4th, Mercury will be going there. June 21st, the Sun, your ruler, will be going there. So into this 12th house, where things are hidden, where things are secretive, where things are not to be revealed to other people, where things are incredibly, incredibly private, deep and psychological. So that's why I'm wondering if a lot of your energy is going in to something secret, not revealing. Maybe until your birthday you're saying, I'm saying nothing until it's my birthday and then I'll reveal everything. But there is a lot of energy going into that secret thing. But there's also a lot of energy going on to trying to understand what makes real deep bonds and real deep connections with people. You're beginning to understand that it's no longer about the length of time that you know somebody that makes a deep bond. It's not like you've endured, you've put up with, oh, well, we've known each other for years, we don't really get on that well, I don't feel great after leaving your company, but hey, that's what friends are, stick together, thick and thin, la la la. But you're not feeling that anymore. You're saying, it's time for me to form very, very significant bonds with people, powerful soul bonds with, as I said, a new tribe of friends, maybe even with some family members, separating a few family members from others and saying, you've been so important to me, we need to form a closer bond. I need to be grateful, more grateful for having you in my life, maybe even, and let's develop this. It's something about soul connections that's becoming very important. But before you can connect to that soul, Leo, there is that energy again of, before I can know who resonates with my heart, I must first explore my own heart. So it's like that, remembering to love yourself this month is also a big game changer, because loving yourself, you start to emit a better vibe that attracts the right kind of friends and the right kind of connections and the right kind of buzz and the right kind of vibrations and the right kind of people around you. Raising vibration on a deep psychological level is where it's all at for you, very much so. Now, we have the full moon, June 17th, in Sagittarius, You love Sagittarius in the 5th house of love and romance and pleasure and fun and creativity and shining, being the best at something. And again, there's a period where the full moon comes and it asks you to stand up and be that, to shine, to be the best at something, to have fun with exploring what it is that you now need. You know, expressing from the heart, expressing love, expressing empathy, sympathy, expressing truth, honesty, openness, clarity, vulnerability, in order to heal this beautiful Leo heart. So some of you might find a peak moment here around the full moon. Yeah. For some of you who started a new relationship recently, you might find that it changes some way, that you have this revelation with each other and you say, well, this is my true open heart, this is who I am, will you still be with me? I've shown you my vulnerable side, are you still there? And if they don't respond in a way that you like, you might say, you don't deserve me, I'm sorry, let me go find somebody else. That could happen. But if you're creating something, Leo, there's this feeling of, I have to show off my talents. I have to show off how brilliant I am. And you'll get that chance to do it. Yeah, I love it. And you know what's interesting? That there's a dynamic that's changed for you, Leo. That you have become much more private. You've learned somehow the game of not telling everybody, not revealing your hand until the moment arrives, until the limelight goes on the stage and you stand out and sing your masterpiece. Until that moment, you're saying nothing. I think you've somehow learned, maybe from past mistakes, maybe other people were stealing your ideas or stealing your thunder, stealing something from you, and you said, that will never happen to me again. It's not going to happen. I want to be original, I want to be creative, and I want to do something that nobody has seen before. Okay, that was a stream that just came in there, and you will. That's exactly what you'll do, Leo. But love and romance definitely comes into sharp focus for the singles and the couples around June 17th. Excuse me. It might be a beautiful time. And for those of you with children, nieces, nephews, and other family members with children, you know, there could be a gorgeous moment around the full moon this month where you do something really nice with the children, your children or family children. It's beautiful. Or indeed, if you work with children, it could be something that's really nice happening around the 17th. So it's all good. It's all good. Behind the scenes too, Leo, I see that you're very focused on long-range money. You're very focused on getting your money right and maybe looking for some passive streams of income, setting up things that don't need, once they're set up, you can just set them off and they will generate money by themselves. Maybe investments, anything that accumulates money just by being in place. So investments, passive income of some sort. You figure it out, but you're working hard on it and you're going to get there. I do see success with that. There's so much going on. Neptune, June 21st, is retrograding in Pisces in the 8th house, and that's why the big focus is on these deep bonds, these deep soul connections. Who are the deep treasures in your life? Because you're coming to realize too this month, Leo, that you are a very loving person. I mean, I know that, but you're beginning to say, I don't want to look at things, my work, my things that I own, the fabulous things that I have, my car, my status. They're not really as important anymore as having real soul family and friends to kind of be there with me as I'm going through these triumphs. You know, I need somebody who knows me and loves me to celebrate with me. So that just keeps coming back. That just seems to be the real turnaround, a bit of a karmic turnaround in a very positive way for you, where maybe you, for the last while, have been lulled into this thing with Saturn and Pluto of work, 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 take care of your health, got to look good, got to look sharp, got to be fit, got to maybe lose weight, got to do this. It was like such heavy pressure on your body to look good, feel good, take care of yourself, work. Don't worry about the stress, don't worry about the toxic bitches in the workplace, as we spoke about before. Just keep going. There's work to be done, schedules to keep, time management, and it's just too much. And you're saying, that's not enough for that to be my only sole focus in my life. How can I expect to meet deep, meaningful friends and form deep, meaningful bonds with people if I am nothing more than a work machine? That's superficial. I didn't think of that before. I didn't think I was superficial. I've never been accused of being superficial, and I don't think you're ever going to be. You're not going to be accused of this, but it's something you're beginning to wake up to in yourself, Leo. You're saying, this is not me. I am not just my work. I am not gossips, dramas, things like that happening. I'm deeper than this shit. And I have to maybe push that a little bit aside, and the stress and the worry and the anxiety about certain things in my life, in order to get back in touch with my spirituality, with my psychicness, with my good vibrations, spiritual vibrations, with my faith, for those of you who follow a particular faith. I need to make space in my life for me to develop a sense of serving my own spirituality and my own understanding of what unconditional love is. And then once I create that space and serve that space, then that's the greatest act of service I can do, both to myself and maybe to everybody around you. So there's a lot. I'm tuning into the energies this month of everybody, and you've no idea, Leo. You've no idea how hard it is. It's so many moments of realization happening for you and for everybody this month. So many gentle, it's almost gently gliding into a completely new awareness, completely new understanding. And what I love for you, Leo, is that the new level of understanding is so deep and so graceful and so forgiving at times, having the energy of needing to forgive yourself, needing to forgive others. It's a bit like that, needing to surrender. And certainly, one last thing before I get more cards, the energy of needing to let go of something that you might have been very obsessed with. You may have become like Gollum. I mean, if Lord of the Rings has taught us anything, it's not to look at something and get all obsessed about it. Because like him, it destroyed his soul. You may be being obsessed with your work, obsessed with people trying to fight off shady bitches in your life, obsessed with your health, obsessed with keep fit, your food, your diet, obsessed with looking good, keeping everything clean, organized, obsessed. But you didn't know you'd become like Gollum, saying, this is my obsession. And now you're saying, and gliding into it, my new obsession is creating that magical, beautiful, healing space for myself. It's not enough to just go through day to day. I have to know that real healing, mind, body and soul, comes when I allow space for that to happen. I'm getting tricked out by this energy as I try to tune into it. I really am. And maybe you might feel that too, Leo. Very spiritual. So, cards jumping and hopping everywhere. Hold on, one fell on the floor. Let me get that. Yeah, everything jumping and hopping. But a lot of self-reflection happening this month. A lot going on, where you're thinking deeply about who you are, what's it all about. But you're coming up with the right answers. I mean, I could sit here and tell you the answers. What's the point of that? The whole point is for you to come to your own conclusion. That's why I get mad when people ask me to tell me what to do. No, your job is to figure out how to do it yourself, you know. I'm just going to get a few more cards here. 24 minutes talking about the energies. I know it's a lot, Leo, but you're going to feel it nonetheless. 2 more cards, my love. Nice. Okay, so Leo, finally, let's go over to the big mystic kind of overview, psychic overview for you this month, because that is very much so the energy for you now. Of course, we open up with the Magician saying, let there be magic in the month of June for Leo. Bring out the good vibes, bring out a new pathway. Leo is standing at a crossroads right now in their life. So let's see which direction they'll go, he's saying. Where do you want to go, Leo? You want to keep taking that beautiful high road with good people, making good connections with people? Or do you want to keep turning your head around to the low road and dealing with those shady people or the toxic people? Your choice. As I was just saying to you, it is always your choice. That's how your spirit grows. So the Magician is saying, do we go up or do we revert back down to the old way? I know what I would choose if I were you. I think you know too. So the magic is being promised to you this month. Soul magic. To do what? To totally turn your whole energy about love, deep connections, deep commitments. This is a very Venus and Scorpio card. And Venus is all about love and Scorpio is all about that deep feeling in love. Having somebody and holding them so deeply in your soul that you see them as an absolute life and soul treasure. And the Magician is saying this could happen for you this month where you see that magic turning in your heart. Is it something that you want? Before the magic can happen externally, it seems that the Magician is saying, well, come out of the shadows a little bit and let's explore your own heart first. You see, he's on his own. Still in the dark a little bit, but looking up and saying, I can have so much in my life if I just cut ties with certain obsessions, negative obsessions from the past. I can just have new treasures. And Leo, you love treasures. you love anything shiny and sparkly. Gold. I mean, what Leo doesn't love gold? But the gold is in the soul. And I think they're the treasures you're finding this month, very much so. But on a very literal meaning, Gemini season could be bringing you new love. New love, you see, in the shadows. New love coming from the shadows and stepping out and presenting themselves to you. Maybe getting spoiled this month by somebody who wants to pour love and affection onto you. Spoiled with their love, spoiled with gifts even, for those of you ready to receive new love. But for those of you in a relationship, it's that examination of how can we bring the magic right back into this relationship? And how can I personally change tack here in order to get a triumph of the heart in this relationship? So you see how deep it is? You see how complicated it is maybe to try to read this energy, but it's very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. It's stuff that's happening inside this month. That's the more important shit. Really, it is, Leo. But look at you, the King of Fire, the one who gains from doing this, from taking that opportunity that's given this month, the magic of transmuting your heart, changing it into gold, emptying out the cup of love in your heart. If there's old, unwanted, maybe even slightly obsessive past shit in there, and cleaning it out and saying, no, I'm raising it up. Look, the cups are in the sky. The energy inside them is higher. I'm looking for a deeper connection, a higher connection with my friends, with my family, with my partner, or with a new love. It's got to be magic, really. But when you do that, you're feeling so much stronger. You're feeling so much better. It's this thing of self-reflection. I am reflecting deeply, deeply in order to get my strength back. In order to get my power back, I have to retreat, go behind the scenes, regain my power, and then come out again for a big return after a period of being quiet, perhaps. So there's a lot, definitely. There's also this gorgeous energy here, Leo, of knowing that it's love, and maybe even love coming from new friends, the new vibe, the new wave of love coming towards you this month from every direction, and maybe even literally a new lover maybe starts off as a secret love. Cross watchers, don't panic. It's not that all Leos have a secret love. It's just, I'm saying it's possible for some of you. That it's love that turns your world completely around. Love that heals. Love that takes you out of a bit of a hard place, Leo. Arguments with family, arguments over maybe even where you live. We touched upon this last month, did we? Issues over home, family, property. Things that are gathered, like if you have stock, or if you have, like a warehouse full of shoes or something and you try to sell them. It's an argument or an uneasiness about something. Where am I going with that? Something that was maybe even hoarded. I don't know where that came out of, I'm sorry. It just came to my mind and it wouldn't go away until I said it. Hoarding things, hoarding people, hoarding friends, hoarding as a way of keeping a level of familiarity going in your life. Hoarding your work, hoarding your space, hoarding your home, hoarding your time. It's one thing to be private and working behind the scenes. That's great. But it's another thing to be absolutely desperately protective and hoarding of your privacy. That's another thing. And I think that's something that's been let go of here, Leo, this month. When you see that there are people out there that you can be a bit more open with, vulnerable with, gentle with, who respect your privacy, who respect maybe some of the hard things you've just come through, maybe through a home or family issue, then you feel better. So that seems to be a nice thing that's happening mid-month. Now, you're definitely working mid-month on doing your very best to turn your financial situation around. I think you've invested, this is the thing, Leo, have you invested in something or somebody that it's becoming so obvious this month that it was a bad investment? And you're now saying, well, I'm going to start again. I've got to start again investing in something new, because the time, energy and effort I've put into that thing or those people or that love affair, it wasn't worth it, because maybe it was coming from a place of lack. And maybe that's the thing that's motivating you to say, no, I need clean space. I need to clear out the things I've been hoarding, and the things I've been hoarding in my heart, the obsessions over old loves, or obsessively thinking about people that I should have let go of a long time ago, friends even. It's time to start investing again in myself, and not being so ready to jump so quickly on anything that looks like it's gold, but it's only just glittery nonsense. So that's the thing, you're becoming smarter, Leo. And we said earlier in the video that you're being more discerning about who you give this soul connection to now, who you invest in now, what you invest in now, because the energy of investment is also there for some of you. Pensions, insurances, things like that. It's like once bitten, twice shy. I can start again investing in the right things, and I will not be fooled by false things, fake gold. I mean, if I put that coin in my mouth, will it bend and buckle? Is it just all glittery, all show, with nothing in the middle? Not even a chocolate coin. At least I could have enjoyed eating the chocolate in the middle. This is just stupid stuff. It was just fake. And I will not be fooled like that ever again. I will not be led down paths of false promises either. Some of those might come up this month too. People saying, Leo, you're wonderful. I promise you this. I've seen your work. I've seen your talent. I've seen your skill. Let's do something together. And you're saying, I've fallen for that once too often before. Not anymore. Not anymore. I'm not going to assume that everybody who tells me I'm brilliant is telling the truth. I'm just going to feel that myself. I'm not going to rely on anybody outside of me anymore to tell me how good I am. From now on, I understand I understand that I am good without needing external applause somehow. So I just hear so many conversations that you're having with yourself throughout this month. But it's all this lovely quiet energy of saying, I know my heart. I know my heart, and I will protect my heart the right way. Not hoard it and close it off, but instead be able to judge who gets the magic in there. So it just keeps coming back to that. But look at this. Mars, Aries card beside soulmate energy. You could be making a really powerful bond this month with an Aries sun, moon or ascendant. It's like you and Aries have something going on. I don't even necessarily say love. It could be love, but for me it's like a great business connection, a great soul connection, a great friendship, a great meeting of souls between you and Aries this month, towards the end of the month, where you say, you see your quality. Every time I speak to you, I feel good after speaking to you. That seems to be an indication to me that you're working on a vibration that makes my heart happy. And that's what you could use here as a benchmark. When you walk away from people, you should, if they're a real soul-connected person to you, you should walk away lighter, fired up, enthusiastic, feeling like you've not a worry in the world. Instead, you feel like you've been energized, and so should they feel like that. Like a magic has happened every time, every single time. And you could be using that as your new litmus test on how to gauge who is this new magical connection. But I do strongly feel it could be an Aries who makes that happen. It could also be somebody who's a very responsible person, a key figure in your life. It could also be somebody older, somebody very wise anyway, somebody who you deem to be very spiritual too. There's a great soul connection. And you know what this does? It changes that dynamic of you feeling, I don't know anymore what it is to love deeply. I don't know anymore how to be open, honest and vulnerable. I've been burnt way too many times. I mean, I'm Leo. This is my job. My spirit loves that openness. It loves that vulnerability. It loves that heart shine. But when I shine from the heart, it's just, nobody's reflecting it back to me. And nobody's enjoying the love that I give. Nobody appreciates it. But they do, Leo. They do. It's just when you learn this month how to do it from the right space in your heart, then we get our Leo back, which you know is something I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time, to really see that Leo beam coming out from your heart from the right place. Like a Care Bear, you know, beaming from your belly. You know, that's what we want. That's what I've wanted. That's what I think everybody has always wanted from you. To be that beamy, shiny beacon for everybody. Because that's your spirit, you know. And it turns this sadness around and gets you feeling back like, you know, you've got the Emperor and the Empress here. I will say this, Libra, perhaps Libra or Taurus. I'll go more with Taurus or Virgo, actually. It's a Taurus or Virgo also who may be very instrumental in turning your heart around, like realigning you to point you and beam you back out into the stars again. It's gorgeous energy, so you've got good friends here. Gemini season is definitely your friend, definitely. And even a Gemini could kick open this month for you and say, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's the story. Here's how it goes. So being invited to a Gemini birthday might be very good this month because it opens up a whole new story. Go to that party if you're invited. But Aries, definitely Aries, are a huge, they're the first ones who remind you how powerful you are in your heart and what you need to be doing. But then we've also got the energy of Virgo and Taurus, maybe even Capricorn also, bringing this love, bringing this love to you that seems to give you more stability. You're going to be very loved this month, Leo, and it's like an engine kick-starting. It's the love that's coming to you from outside and from a deep inside place. Even though you don't necessarily want to depend on the love coming from outside of you, it still acts as a kind of, you know, like the emergency room, clear. It gives you that electric shock, the electric heart, the electric shock that beams out that beautiful Leo heart again. It's like shock therapy, but it is, the shock is how much you're loved. So it's not a negative shock. The shock is being so surprised by how much you're loved. So, kind of enjoyable shock therapy. Leo, I love the energy for you, and I hope I got right into the vibe of that energy, but I think you're going to feel it much deeper than I explained it even. This great big heart turnaround, like therapy for your soul. It's going to be something that you'll experience this month, and it will be great for you and for making those deep connections that you now need with other people. So my beautiful, you know these are just the general landscapes, the energetic read. To get to the real nitty-gritty, to get right into the details, Leo, you know by now what to do. You come to the VIMEO readings, the deep read. Come along again and we'll open up all the themes and topics and go right into them. For love, for those of you in a relationship, for those of you looking to see what magic is going on in love this month for you. Money and career, we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on family and friends and everything else that comes up there too. So come along again this month, Leo, and we'll get stuck in on the VIMEO reading, the deep read. And if you haven't been there before, please come along. You're very, very welcome. Try it out and see if you get something a little bit deeper there. Okay, Leo, my beautiful, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to leave you with all my love. With all my love. Know that I love you, and I'm going to leave you with a great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my gorgeous, keep shining.